If you were ever in a situation where the end of a relationship made you question your self-worth, this video is for you. For the past few years, I learned a lot about why breakups affect certain people more than others. And in this video, I'm going to share with you why the absence of your ex makes you question your self-worth, and more importantly, how you can shift this around so that nobody's absence makes you feel bad about yourself. So what I found is that people who have relationship anxiety or who have an anxious attachment style are usually the ones who crumble the most after the end of a relationship. They are the ones who lose their confidence and tend to view themselves negatively after their partner leaves. They used their partners as the main source of validation, and that's why after the relationship ends, they question themselves to the core. They think that they are unworthy, unlovable, not enough, and that's why the relationship ended. The reason this happens is because as children, we all depend on our caregivers for safety and love. For people with relationship anxiety, their parents' love was inconsistent. This unpredictability made them worried because they didn't know when would be the next time mom or dad would be available for them. Over time, they translated their parents' emotional unavailability the wrong way. They believe that their parents were not there for them all the time because they are inherently flawed and unworthy of love. Fast forward 20 or 30 years, they repeat the same cycle in adult relationships. Why? Because this is a dynamic they are familiar with. By now, you know that our brain seeks familiarity, even if it means pain. So the nervous system mistakes chaos for chemistry. They think that for them to be in a loving relationship, they have to work hard. They have to earn the love and approval of their partner. They outsource the sense of self, so whatever their partner believes of them, they believe of themselves. Even when the relationship becomes painful, even when the relationship becomes toxic or emotionally unfulfilling, anxious people stay in the same cycle because they refuse to admit to themselves that this is not love. They refuse to admit that they chose the wrong person to begin with. So what they do is that they try to compensate by chasing, over-functioning, over-giving, because they are trying to do their best to maintain their attachment figure, which means their partner, who they believe is the main source of validation for them. That's why when the relationship ends, they take their partner's behavior too personally. They let the partner's absence define their value. They let maybe the disrespectful, toxic behavior of their partner have them believe that they are the bad ones, rather than seeing their partner's toxic behavior for what it really is, a sign of immature, insecure, emotionally unavailable person who they should be glad they got rid of. So the question here is, what's the way out? The way out is to get out of the illusion that you need someone else in your life to make you feel safe, loved, and worthy. Nobody else's presence in your life is the source of any of this. You are the main source of the love, of the support, of the validation and worthiness that you have been looking for your entire life. You're not a child anymore, so as an adult, you can give yourself all of these emotions that you need. The loss you think happened in the end of a relationship is nothing but an illusion. When you see what happened for what it really was, correction for a situation that was not right for you from the beginning, you realize that you should be grateful that you got this person out of your life because they did nothing to you but drain you emotionally, mentally, and psychologically. Your body was anxious around this person. It was on alert mode most of the time. It was trying to give you all kinds of signals, but you've mistaken those signals for chemistry because, again, as a child, you grew up in a household where this dynamic was familiar. So the first thing that you need to do for yourself is to give yourself safety. Safety comes from a regulated nervous system. When you sit down, close your eyes, breathe, and calm your nervous system down, you're letting your body know that you are safe on your own. You are calming your nervous system of all of these alarms, of all of these triggers. Your body translates as possible danger. When your body calms down, you can make choices and decisions from a loving place, because you're not scared anymore, you're not anxious anymore, and you're not trying to get anything from outside of you, and you're no longer going to wait for someone to make you feel worthy, because you know that you are worthy regardless of anybody else's presence in your life. By making regulating your nervous system down a habit, eventually you're going to get to a place where you start to identify with this new state of being, going to identify with yourself as someone who's secure, safe, who is confident, and who is capable of choosing partners who reflect back to them the amount of worthiness and love they carry for themselves.